Park. My name's Jimmy Smith alongside Brett Noddy Kimmorley. We're here for the next hour, so get on board. 0457 736 736, the Temper text line. 29,233 fans cramming into AAMI Park, and we were lucky enough to be here watching the game with the new general manager of football. He's also going to be hosting the Saturday League kickoff tomorrow. That's Scotty Sattler. He'll do it with Adrian Prezenko. And we were talking about, Brett, wouldn't it be amazing if the Gold Coast Titans made the grand final? Just how extraordinary that would be if they were to make the grand final. Well, Melbourne Storm fans, Craig Bellamy, he's just made his 11th grand final in 23 years of coaching. It is absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely extraordinary. As you said, we spoke about it pre-game, about the record there. It's just under 50% of the time that he's coached, he's actually made a grand final. Not the top 8, not the top 4.
No.
Not, oh, yeah, we'll give you a pass for this year. The fact that the Melbourne Storm have made the grand final 11 occasions out of the 23 seasons he's coached is ridiculous. And their preparation is probably what got them through to this grand final, because they had the bye last week, or they had the rest. They looked a bit fresher than the Melbourne Storm, than the Cronulla Sharks. They were able to hang on a bit better as that second half unfolded. 16-8 was the halftime lead. Not a lot of points in that second half. Not a lot of open football. 2 great defensive efforts. They saved tries continuously today. But the record of Craig Bellamy, and the one reason I was steering towards Melbourne probably winning today, outside of extra recovery, and Stars back, was the preparation that Craig Bellamy has for every game. Not just because it's a grand final preparation or a preview for a grand final preparation. It's just his attention to detail and everything.
Yeah.
And it's first class. And we heard there, Robbie Kearns and a few other people talk about, it's the preparation, it's the hard work the players do, and they make you a better player. And the success Melbourne have had and what people have done and what a player has done under Craig Bellamy is ridiculous. Golden Boot winners, Dally M medalists, Clive Churchill medalists, representative players. Rarely have they got their recruitment decisions wrong.
Correct.
And again, that 11th grand final, 23 years. And I thought if Jahrome Hughes gets through and they win the game, I think they win the comp. And nothing in that game presented to me that why they can't win the comp.
Well, Penrith and the Broncos to have their say.
They'll go for 130 minutes on Sunday night.
And you will hear it here on SEN. 22-14, the final scoreline. Finals footy thanks to 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food. Here's another key point. Ryan Papenhuyzen now has another 2 days, or an extra 2 days, to get that shoulder right for the grand final.
Yeah, that 48 hours is going to be spoken about, isn't it?
Big.
Like the fact that the clubs agreed to, one can play Friday and the other one will play Sunday afternoon. So if Ryan Papenhuyzen effectively would have got hurt Sunday afternoon, he has 7 days.
He's racing the clock.
He's racing the clock to get ready for that 2 extra days. And obviously 2 extra days. They've got Blore back, Pap's come back from concussion, and they've got Jahrome Hughes back from a broken arm in 3 weeks.
Yep.
Medical staff down there must be first class. But they get 48 hours extra to what's going to happen Sunday afternoon to whoever they're going to play against in the grand final.
Big shout out to you, Mal Meninga's arm guard that turned up on Jahrome Hughes' left arm.
Why not? Yeah.
All right, let's get into it, mate. The unmissable highlight thanks to Drinkwise. You will not miss a moment if you drink Wise.
Well, I think the Ryan Papenhuyzen try off the Munster kick, we spoke about.
No, we didn't.
I did. I said there'd be a moment. I thought Paps would be a moment. I thought he'd do his own chip kick, but he didn't do that. But
No.
Watching the game, obviously good coaching from Craig Bellamy or whoever the attacking coach, all those people, because obviously a lot of fullbacks defending the line near the try line. So on that occasion, it was close to the try line. Will Kennedy in the line. Munster goes the ball to the left, kicks it back to the right. So obviously know that there's no chance for Paps to run off the ball, catches it or kicks it forward actually. Smart enough not to try and pick it up, low bouncing ball.
Yep.
Kicks it forward, grounds it just in the in goal, and I thought that was an unmissable highlight thanks to Drinkwise.
So you reckon that happens when? That's in the week leading up to it, that they're identifying Will Kennedy getting into the line if there's a slow player back?
Will Kennedy also must probably be the A on the short side. So Munster went down that short side to keep Will Kennedy involved and connected. And then Kip's back to the middle of the field where Papenhuyzen's pushing through the middle.
It's high-level footy. There's no doubt about that. What about some of the key numbers? There are lots of key numbers coming out of this one, but key numbers for Keno Go. Play with $2 today.
Yeah, I thought really some key numbers were in the first half. I thought the quality of the game in the first half, 16-8 was the halftime lead in favour of the Melbourne Storm. 94% completion rate, 90% completion rate from both sides.
Who was who?
94 Melbourne.
Wow.
90% the Cronulla Sharks. You asked me for my 3 messages pre-game. At defence is going to win games.
Yep.
They obviously conceded not many tries to Melbourne Storm.
Three
only.
Well, one in the 80th minute.
In the 80th minute, which Bellamy wasn't happy about.
No, that's right.
2 was about the kicking game. I think Melbourne Storm had a better kicking game, but geez, Trindle put up some amazing floaters at the end there.
Yes.
And then the third one was going to be completion rate, and they're 3 pretty key numbers, and the Melbourne Storm won those numbers. So,
do you want to know the final numbers?
Yes,
87%, 87%.
How good? And then a lot of the stats,
Wow.
a lot of the numbers, line breaks. It's only 4-3, I think it was, and completion rate, as you said, exactly the same. Just a bit better share of possession for the Melbourne Storm over the Cronulla Sharks. Missed tackles were pretty close. All the data, all the numbers, all the stats you have, all those things you can have for Keno go, important numbers. They match up. They just won the moments, Melbourne.
Yeah, and there were so many of them, those moments. We'll get to them throughout the course of this evening. $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes with Keno Go. Go on, narrow this down. Big moment of the match for Bendix Breaks. They are the best known breaks.
I'm going to say the game was still on the line. The game was still there. Harry Graham, you made a comment. We're watching the football together. We're like, oh, geez, Harry's had a quiet night.
Hang on. I said Harry has had a relatively quiet.
And Harry had a very relatively quiet night.
Yeah.
But then he gets out of that marker, gets out of dummy half. There's 2 markers down for the Sharks. Jumps, bounces left, offloads the ball, and then they offload again. And Xavier Coates goes and scores the try that probably seals the victory for the Melbourne Storm.
What about the Braden Trindle tackle on Jahrome Hughes? Now, we saw Tommy Starling on Tom Hazelton last week, no penalty. This week, penalty, crucial 2 points.
Yeah, I think last week's one was definitely head made the force and made the collision, and there was no shoulder contact.
Right.
I think that Trindle makes contact with the back of his shoulder to Hughes' chin.
Okay, all right. So a little difference in that one. And there was no strip from Stefano Utoikamanu on.
I reckon he plays at the ball to push it forward, not pull it outways. So it's sort of reverse stripping action. Pushes at the ball and then goes through and effectively makes the tackle, and the ball comes out the back of Adam Fanua-Blake, and obviously then there's a knock-on called. So there's some moments there, and there's some big moments. I won't say any decision cost or any decision went against one, but there's some moments that I think players get a little bit sneaky. And a couple of play the balls that were a little bit, play the ball or not a play the ball. Is it ruck interference, or is it not getting up and playing the ball properly?
That's a good question. Put your foot down with confidence. Bendix Breaks. Who ran for the most metres? I think this surprised you. This surprised me when you told me this, but who's going to need a good night's sleep for OMF? Sleep deeper, recover faster, Brett, perform stronger, wake up refreshed, energised, and ready to dominate every game.
Well, it's the 2 numbers that I'm going to share that blew me off the mark. And the person that's won it is Iro for the Cronulla Sharks. 203 run metres he finished with when the data got added up.
That's exactly what he had last week, 203 metres.
That must be his goal every week. Get over 200 metres and I've achieved my goal. 203, 2 weeks. Cam Munster has had the most run metres for the Melbourne Storm. 20 runs for 195 run metres.
Whoa.
So
Cam
Munster. So when Munster does that in Origin a little bit as well, he gets that running mood.
Was that Origin 3 or
and
Origin
is that because
2?
Jahrome Hughes is back this week? He's like, oh, well, my halfback will do all the kicking. I don't need to worry about game management.
Yes.
Jonah Pezzett, I've got to probably look after a little bit. Young kid, I'll take some kicking responsibility. I'll be the senior half in this game. Jahrome Hughes back. No, you'll do the game.
Yeah.
I'll worry about myself.
Yeah, I'll run.
And Munster ran.
Yeah, great point. Great performance too from Cameron Munster. What about a breakout player for Australian outdoor living?
The Melbourne Storm, they find him Lasardi, the back rower for the Storm. Come off the bench because Paul started.
Yep.
But he's been a really good find. Big impact for him. And I think he made his debut end of last year.
Panthers Junior.
Yeah.
We've been told Panthers Junior.
Panthers Junior, yep.
Australian outdoor living, bringing backyard dreams to life. This is going to be, I think, straightforward. Game-sealing moment for Loctite adhesives, Brett, that go beyond the bond.
Well, it's the try that Coach scores, but
Right.
I'm going to go also. I'm going to make a decision.
It's your decision too, so you can do what you like.
The stripping of the ball by Trindle. There's 3 in the tackle. Deliberately strips the ball.
Yep.
Cost him 2 points.
Yes.
Cost him 2 points.
So scoreboard pressure is eased.
And then they take a shot at 2 points.
Yes.
They get it within 6 points.
Yes.
Great decision.
Yes.
They get down the other end, scoreboard pressure against him, and for some silly reason he rakes it. There's 3 in the tackle.
Right.
Melbourne then kick out to an 8-point lead again.
And then all that tension is eased
yeah.
from that. Good point. Loctite, fast, strong and reliable adhesives that go Beyond the Bond nominee for the try of the year. This is for Beaumont's Renovate with Style.
Beaumont's.
Nice.
Is
Well
it
done.
Hughes? Is it Paps? Is it Katoa twice? It's Xavier Coates.
Xavier Coates try.
Xavier
What
Coates,
did you like about Xavier Coates try? Other than the fact that I just said Harry Grant.
No, I thought
had a
selection
great
of
game.
Harry Grant running when there's no markers.
Yes.
Ran straight. Then he saw the A defender on the left side of the ruck come towards him. Right foot step, goes around him, draws and pass. Bloor doesn't panic, tips it onto the centre.
Yes, yes.
And then Katoa had a chance to try and save it, and Howarth did such a good job to
Yes.
get him involved and connected. Then Xavier Coates gets a score in the sideline. Winning moment, guarantees that they're going to go through. And I thought it was a pretty magical play.
He didn't have many moments either, Xavier Coates, as in opportunities like that. Got one, took it.
That's what happens at this time of year.
Yeah.
It's about taking your opportunities when they get presented. So the tightness of the game, there wasn't much between. Cronulla didn't do a lot wrong, except for the moments that were created by the Melbourne Storm. They scored tries off.
Yep.
They had bigger, better moments, and that's the difference. You took your opportunities.
And they did some great defence in that first half
What
at
about the
different
tackle
stages.
by Ryan Papenhuyzen and Munster in goal? That was Britton Nickera scoring every day under the post.
Yeah.
No try and a penalty conceded. To then had to in the next set of six hold the ball.
I know he was running that line, but did it feel like there was all this space to the right-hand side that Nickera can exchange direction? I mean, it's easy to say, and, these things happen in a split
I think
second.
we talked about pre-game about running hard down lines or unders lines.
Yes.
He ran a terrific line, and then I think he thought the space was further that way. And he actually turned away from where his support was or where the space was and went straight for the hole. He scores, except for Ryan Papenhuyzen just comes up with an unbelievable tackle with a sore shoulder.
With a bung shoulder.
And somehow makes tackle and spins him on his back and holds the ball. Just you talk about those moments that again, why can you do it at some times of the year? Well, and then I love listening to Papenhuyzen's interview post-game. Just talk about we've got to learn from what we learnt this year. Our mistakes we learned, all the things we got wrong in the past. We've got to make sure we don't take that into next week.
He was interviewed about 3 minutes. We'll have that a little bit later on tonight. He was interviewed 3 minutes after the end of the game. He was so composed, wouldn't blow a candle out. And I thought it was one of the best games we've seen him play this year.
I agree. I thought there was a couple of balls where in the past he might have knocked on picking it up and he can have an error in him and all that. He was perfect today.
Yep.
Caught some terrific bombs from Trindle. Oh, wow. There's some
floaters.
floaters and the curves and all those type of things and picked up the ball off the ground, try-saving tackle, good supporting runs. And, even again, the ability for Hughes, when Hughes gets a ball and an offload, his ability and instinct to go off the mark quickly and find the space.
Yep.
That's how he scored the try.
Yeah, just got away.
Just got away. They just took their moments.
That was for Beaumont. Step into style. Transform your home this spring. What about in the absence of... Where is Timmy?
He's at Macca's.
He is.
He's at Macca's. He's having his new McCrispy.
I'm loving it moment for Macca's. It's crunch time with the new McCrispier from Macca's.
I'm going to just enjoy the moment of Craig Bellamy's career and say 11th grand final. That's something that you've got to be thinking about. How special that is. How much of a I'm loving it moment it is that the Melbourne Storm are back in the grand final. And the history has showed,
yes,
and we're still on the history trail, every year that the Melbourne Storm under Craig Bellamy has lost a grand final, they've won the following year. So far, they've done that script to perfection. They're in the grand final. Now they've got to win it.
Okay. Well, they lost in 2018 to the Roosters. They didn't make it the next year.
Well,
They made it the year after that.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, as you were.
As I was.
Crunch time for the new McCrispier from Macca's. All right, this is.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it moment that you're always perfect. Research.
No, well, I'm just bringing that up.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
All right. What was about the player of the game for the Aviso Group, Trusted Insurance Brokers? This is not straightforward.
No, it's not straightforward. Can I split it? Can I give
Gee,
it?
that's highly controversial.
Is-
But yeah, why not?
Let's go. Cam Munster's performance, leadership qualities, and come up with some big moments.
Yes.
And Stefano Utoikamanu.
Oh, you're a lover. You love Stefano.
His last
now.
2 weeks, he's developed leg speed.
How do you develop leg
I don't know. He obviously get a bit fitter.
Right.
Bit fitter. It just looks like he's a leader now. He's doing some big minutes. No Nelson for the side. He's standing up as the leader. From Adam Fanua-Blake was first class again for the Cronulla Sharks.
How many minutes you said?
62 minutes he played.
Wow.
Yeah, huge, and big runs and big carries. And it was the captain's challenge. I think it was assisted by Stefano
Yes,
Utoikamanu, but they got away with it.
Yes.
But boys, the last 2 games he's played have been the best 2 games of his career.
I couldn't disagree with that. There was a great game he played against Parramatta on a Thursday night. We called him in that one. He got our Temper text line player of the match.
You know when you play against your old clubs,
You would have had a lot.
I had 7 Temper men in the match.
Very good. So Cam Munster and Stefano Utoikamanu, don't drop the ball on insurance. Contact the Aviso Group. Now, great tackle by Pappy and Munster. However, Nickera stayed too upright and he ran straight into them. Could have gotten low or changed direction slightly and he scores. That's from Chad. I don't know if that's our man Chad Townsend, but who played with Britton Nickera, of course. But yeah, I think we're being really harsh on Britton.
Well, that's what happens now, isn't it? Like the team that's won, they get all the praise.
Yes.
They get all the good things.
Yes.
Oh, he did that well. He did this well. He caught the ball. He ran a great line. He twisted to the outside of that position. The team that loses, though, now all of a sudden you're like, oh, they can't win semi-finals, can't do this. These are the players that can't win those moments.
Nico drops the ball.
Big moment. Huge moment.
10 metres out. Yeah, on the attack.
And I don't think they touched the ball in that field position again for quite a lot of time after that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to probably say the Melbourne Storm might have scored not long after that.
I think you're right. All right, give us your thoughts, 0457 736 736 on the Temper text line. Remember, you can stream us on the app as well too, so make sure you check in and say g'day to that one. Give us a call. You can give us a call, 1300 01 1170. We'll go through all of the fallout from this big game. We'll look forward to Sunday and who we think might be taking on the Melbourne Storm in the grand final. And, of course, we'll celebrate with you, Melbourne Storm fans. What a happy, happy night in purple Melbourne town, says Hillstorm Hillary. Crowd was awesome. Yeah, 29,233.
How good is rugby league down there at the moment?
Brilliant.
Crowds supporting the Melbourne Storm.
Bring on Sunday and a grand final win. I'll be there and we'll bring it back to Amy. Cheers and lots of celebrating bevies to flow. Hillstorm Hillary. I can only imagine Hillstorm. So congratulations to you and your team, and you enjoy the night tonight. Let's get ourselves to a break. When we come back, we dive into the Temper text line, 0457 736 736, and we take your calls on the open line. Welcome back. Finals footy. We're doing it all thanks to Eufy. Save time and effort with the E15 robot lawnmower. Lots to get around. And we'll go around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. We'll have a look at that Panthers and Broncos game on Sunday. Before that, lots of fallout continuing from this game. 22-14, the final scoreline. The Melbourne Storm over the Cronulla Sharks. Wow. Klein letting Melbourne lay all over Cronulla in the ruck. Come on, said Brett, who sent that through at 9:38 on the Temper text line. The Ashley Klein Show, great season, Sharkies. Cheers, Budster. So Budster chipping in with that one. He also said, P.S. Ashley Klein cannot possibly referee the grand final. Now, a couple of contentious decisions that you've already spoken about. Brett, do you... I mean, we have to wait and see what Grant Atkins does on Sunday, but there's no doubt about him, Ashley Klein. He can always find himself in the middle of a storyline at some point.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that he had a perfect game today. It's very curious how they judge and how they look at and what they report in when they go to these coaches' meetings for referees, and they do their review and they do their what was well last week. The game is so fast, Jimmy. Like it's fast. There's lots of live ball, 60 goes. Athletic players these days, great skill. It's got to be such a hard position to get everything right, and we get to watch it and think about it.
Yes,
back
analyse
it, and then we get the bunk. We've got a replay and all these type of things.
Yep.
They get help from the 2 touch judges and the bunker in their ear live. But I don't know. I thought some of the decisions were a bit off today. I didn't agree with the decisions. The crowding of the ruck, then giving penalties away.
Yes.
I thought,
I think there was one each for that.
One each for that, and then there was
one for Melbourne, one for Cronulla.
I just feel like, and I feel like the since we've got to semi-final time, it's like they want to penalise early and set their tone and say, hey, you've got to get onside this and that. But then they let you go away with everything for the rest of the game.
Right.
It's like, well, have consistency or don't stop it. It's like they want the semi-final to be fast, and it is the best teams playing at the moment. The defence will, the best defence generally wins, but if you're allowed to get to a speed of too fast and you don't want to take control and you allow one side to lay a bit longer than others, then people are going to have these understandings and concerns.
Where is Adam G? Just out of whatever happened
can we
to
get
Adam
Adam
G?
G?
I don't know where Adam G is anyway. Hey, one of the stories coming out of tonight, and we've spoken about it already, is incredible. Craig Bellamy taking his team through to an 11th grand final. Here he is after the match, speaking to Channel 9.
Yeah, seems a bit surreal. Again, I know, like, probably you shouldn't think that. So it's happened a few times, but yeah, like I say, I'm just really happy for our players. You know, there's not too many of them, Smithy, that's that played in 2020. That when we won the grand final, there's only about 3 or 4 of them. So it's all going to be a new experience for a whole heap of them. So as long as they sort of understand what's in front of them, and hopefully we can prepare well and then play well.
You've got a big week coming up for the grand final, of course, but what did you take out of that match tonight?
Yeah, I just thought, again, that consistency really improved. I was wrapped for Will Warbrick. I thought he had a great game, and it's been a tough year for him with all these head knocks, and a lot of people don't really know what he's been through. So for him to play like that tonight was outstanding. And I thought Hughes, he was adamant that he was going to play. I wasn't overly confident early in the week, but like I say, he just showed a lot of confidence and had a good game.
Was he the person that said to you, or did he say to the medical staff, "I want to play, let me play"? Or did he tick a few boxes during the week?
Oh no, he ticked a few boxes with the medical people. They said, well, we can't see a whole heap of reasons for him not to play. And then I just went up to you and said, mate, like, you're going to play, you need to do the job. I'll do the job.
He's amazing the way he goes.
Pretty simple, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I love the fact that he's identified Will Warbrick, who played really well tonight, got the first try, and the challenges that he's had around with his head knocks earlier in the year. And, there would have been – he was out for 15, 16 weeks.
Yeah, and also the fact that he was carrying the ball near the end of the game and near his try line. I was like, Will, don't do that, because you can sometimes drop the ball and you can come up with mistakes. But he was great for the Melbourne Storm today. Paps was great for the Melbourne Storm. And again, Craig to know and to make notice of, not many players were around in 2020 when they beat the Panthers 5 years ago.
Yep.
This is a new crew. This is what they're going to go through. Hopefully they prepare well. Everything's about, I'm happy for the boys, happy for the players.
Yeah.
Hopefully we prepare well. Hopefully we can play well. Hopefully we can do our best. And then talking about Jahrome Hughes, just go out and do your job.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty simple, isn't it?
We don't ask anything else of that.
Jaleesa Apps tweeted earlier this week, in fact yesterday, at that Craig Bellamy press conference, on the latest episode of Craig Bellamy being adorable. Press conference was a little frosty to begin, and then he spotted his grandkids and absolutely melted. He admitted sometimes they pop up at training and he thinks the players have given them a call to come in. I can tell you.
Do we want to settle Craig down, do we?
Internally, the Melbourne Storm, they call Craig's grandchildren's the tranquilizers. Because he just calms everything down when the grandkids are around. But
are they allowed in the coach's box? Or
I wouldn't have thought so.
Is Craig still allowed to run around the coach's box?
What's Poppy saying those words for?
Lucky they can't read the script or can't hear
exactly
in the coach's box.
Exactly, or read lips. Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Shop half-price vitamins now at Chemist Warehouse. So we've got this game on Sunday. Adam Reynolds, Ezra Mam, Xavier Willison, all coming into this side in the absence of Billy Walters and Patrick Carrigan. We've seen the Melbourne Storm tonight introduce players. They get the job done. Can you see the Brisbane Broncos doing something similar on Sunday?
Well, I think they'll be able to come back and be able to get the job done. They'll be fresh. And again, players don't get pushed into playing grand final qualifiers if they're not ready.
Yep.
If they're not prepared. Medical staff don't do it. Coaches don't do it. I would think that they'll be totally fine. Reynolds and Hunt, obviously playing in the halves. I'm not sure if they go that way. How does Ezra Mann get involved? And if Ezra Mann comes on,
when does he get him in?
When do you get him in? Is it Hunt or Reynolds that goes off? Does Hunt move to dummy half? Corey Paxson and Ezra Mann comes on. Willison, I think, will play a big part of the game. Obviously, Patrick Carrigan out, who's a great talker for the Broncos, and obviously a leader and a bit of a ball player as well. So they need someone a bit big and a bit of a presence. So I think he'll have a big play in it.
Xavier Willison can't ball play like Patrick Carrigan. I don't think Tyson Smoothie can either.
No, I reckon they'll go with a big, strong forward pack to start with. So I reckon Willison will start at lock just for physicality and size.
Smoothie come on later.
Smoothie will come on when the leg speed's a bit more going.
Yep.
What they can't allow the Panthers to do is get high completion rate, great kicking game, and defensive line speed. The Broncos will come out of yardage for most of the game because that's what the Panthers do.
Yep.
They end up normally with a better share of possession than 50-50, which is what every team goes into. They end up with 55 or 56. The other day they were 60-40 because of the completion rate and tries. But I think what will happen is I just don't know what and how the best defensive system the last 5 years, being the Panthers, can do to stop Reece Walsh. That's the golden ticket for the Broncos is what Reece Walsh can do and how do you stop him, because the last couple of games he's been brilliant.
So it just reminds me of an Origin game, right? When you're talking about the Penrith there. And then, so big job for the Broncos wingers.
Yep.
Big job for Payne Haas. And if Reece Walsh can get 2 40-20s, 1 or 2 40-20s, that will give them an opportunity.
And Dylan Edwards can get caught out sometimes. Yep. You know, and again, you got 2 right foot kickers and a left foot kicker. So where does Dylan Edwards go and stand, and who is the main kicker of the ball? Like, Reece Walsh can just step up and kick it from a standing still moment. So it's hard for him to cover the 70 metres with the footy fielders, especially when you've got a left foot and a right footer coming at you continuously.
Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Remember, the half-price vitamin sale is on now. We will have that game on Sunday. The broadcast will start from 12 o'clock, crunch time till 3, and then the call team will take over from that point. The better team won tonight, but the Sharks showed they are not far away. The less said about Ashley Klein, the better, says the Wolf. Woohoo!
Yeah, I agree.
I tell you what, it's interesting you say that, Wolf. We've got to get ourselves to a break, but we'll play a bit of Craig Fitzgibbon coming out of the press conference, and he talks very strongly about the fact that, yep, they are not too far away. Remember, keep the text coming on the 40 Winks Temper text line, 0457 736 736. Temper, the difference is Temper. Finals footy for the Ford Ranger in stock at Sutton's Ford Homebush, and kick off your next painting project with Monarch. Painting made easy. Time for the last break now for Bendix Brakes. When it comes to braking, Bendix are the best. Put your foot down with confidence with Bendix Brakes. We come back after the break with Craig Fitzgibbon. Stick around. Welcome back. Finals footy. We're doing it for you. Save time and effort with the E15 robot lawnmower. The Temper text line is going off. So far be it from the Wolf to lead us into a grab, but let's take a listen to Cronulla Sharks coach Craig Fitzgibbon. Clearly disappointed after the match, but some pretty stern words from Fitzy.
Well, I'll tell you this, we're in a better position than we've ever been. We're not going away. We're not going to get worse. 2 interstate trips and a week off and a bit of freshness and getting the back end of the year right, but that was on us. We didn't get in the top 4 and we didn't win a first semi, and we had to keep going. So part of that started in the mid part of the year, I reckon. Consistency about that. Those top 4 sides, they're basically great the whole year, and we had periods of being great, but just we're not out and out. You've got to be a great side the whole year, and we had periods of that, but it's not good enough. So
there you go, an admission by Craig Fitzgibbon. It's not even the fact that the Wolf says they're not far away. It's like we needed to be the ones to finish in the top 4, to win in the first week, to then play at home in week 3 and get the week off, and that's how you win.
And that's why no one's won the competition in the history of what the style is now outside the top 4.
Does this say something about the Broncos on Sunday with the rest they've had compared to the Panthers?
100%.
Right.
And also the Panthers in the past have had the rest. So they're doing it a different way to how but they did rest players a lot at the end of the year.
Correct.
They were in a position where they went, we're not going to make top 4, but we're going to rest. So they sort of had a rest, and they went, we've got 4 games to win a grand final.
The highly controversial round 26, they did it against the Bulldogs. We called that
16
game.
16 players missing.
16 players missing, and then they still rested Brian To'o and Liam Martin the following week. Against the Dragons, said, no, keep it, have a break.
So they've done the theory of we can't get top 4, but we can win 4 games in a row as long as we're fresh.
Yes.
And they got themselves fresh.
And they did that in 21. They lost the first week to the Rabbitohs, and then they came out and they went Parramatta, Melbourne, beat the Rabbitohs in the grand final 4 weeks in a row. Here we go. This is a text message that's, I think, aimed at me. Yes, it is. Cry harder, New South Wales lovers. Will you be okay, Jimmy? And then there's a vomit. There's 4 vomit emojis. What's that emoji? Nod, do you know what that is? It's a guitar or something. Anyway, thank you very much, 867.
A violin?
Might be a violin. That could be a violin.
Violin.
That's exactly what it is. So,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes, no, I'll be fine, but really
So
appreciate it.
So we're happy to have Melbourne versus the Broncos. We're happy to have anywhere. Whoever the best two teams are, Jimmy, should be in the grand final. Doesn't matter what state they're from, does it?
Okay, so I agree. Doesn't matter what state they're from. Who else should we have in the grand final? What about this one? Grant Atkins just needs a decent game to get the grand final. Good season from the Sharks, but a weak exit that will not silence any of their doubters. So let's have a look at the headlines for tomorrow, Nod, and you tell me, is Nico Hines going to be under pressure again? Is Braden Trindle? Who else?
Well, they're probably the three players that have been really good for him the last couple of weeks. Trindle, Hines, and Brayley.
Yep.
Really didn't have an impact on the game. Kennedy come up with a great pass, a try assist for
Beautiful.
the first try. But that's what the Melbourne Storm do to you. Got high completion rate, give you nothing, suffocate the ruck. We had a couple of text messages come in about let them lie all over the ruck. Well, that allows Melbourne Storm to be set defensively, take away some key strike for the Storm. They just took their moments better, probably think Melbourne than Cronulla. Cronulla had moments. Nicaragua scores that try. It's a different game.
Correct.
So that's a try saved from Papenhuyzen and Munster.
Yep.
Munster played the game differently tonight because Jahrome Hughes was back. They were nearly back to full strength for Melbourne Storm. I think Craig Fitzgibbon, as you said, they need to be better in the season so they get to the top 4 times, so they get a week off. Fatigue hurts them, 27 hard rounds of football in a close competition, but they're not going away. They're a better side this year than they were last year. They're a much better side with Adam Fanua-Blake there as a leader. They've got some good young kids now coming into the side. The biggest decision they've got to make in the off-season now is what do they do with Will Kennedy? Can they convince Will Kennedy to sign for a low figure, or does Will Kennedy go rugby, Super League? I don't know. Is there another club looking at Will Kennedy? But I think somehow, because they're in a position where they go, how do we get better next year? How does 50 take them to a top 4 side next year?
Do they need, what is it that they're looking for? An addition of class. So if you look at their spine and you go, well, Trindle, yes, he's locked in long term. Nico's long term. They've just locked in Blake Brayley long term, and everyone's looking at the fullback. But who's the fullback to take over from?
Well, I don't think they have one.
No. Well, can they look externally? We were just talking about Dane Laurie and what an exceptional human he is to have around the club. Does his level of play elevate the Sharks? Is he better than Will Kennedy?
Yeah, that's right. And does Will Kennedy or Dane Laurie offer anything different in some regards? Because that's what we're looking for. Maybe also, do they need to offload the football a little bit more? Again, we're talking about little tiny moments against the best in the competition, being the Melbourne Storm, who were fresh and who were rested, that know how to get this time of year done.
They don't have second phase play. There was a little bit from Adam Fanua-Blake at the end of the game.
10 offloads by Cronulla and 19 by the Melbourne Storm.
So there you go. And Stefano was offloading early on.
Yes.
There was a couple of...
Career best form, Career best form.
You've already claimed that too.
Yeah.
All right. G'day, Shaggers. Sharks are fast becoming the teenagers of the rugby league. Everything gets him upset. Is against them, and they act like they've just I won't say that. Nothing but whinging, and it's making people hate them. The Reptile. Are we hating the Sharks?
No, I think they've taken an approach to say, hey, we're not scared of semi-finals this year. We're going to prove we can do it. They won 2 semi-finals, which is changing what they've done in the past.
Well, they beat a red-hot Roosters at home, kept them to 10 points, and then went down to Canberra and beat the minor premiers.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we're probably helped a little bit by Ethan Strange being ruled out, but you still got to go and beat the minor premiers in Canberra after having some time off as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt. All right. Hey, what do we got coming up now? We're a bit of an NRL action tomorrow night. We've got the Roosters and the Sharkies in action, and then a big doubleheader on Sunday.
Sunday, yes. So NRLW tomorrow is Roosters versus Sharks tomorrow night at Gosford Stadium, and then obviously Sunday Broncos. Roosters versus Cronulla. You going?
Well, all right, I'll go the Roosters.
Right, I'll go the Sharkies again. And then Sunday, doubleheader at Brisbane. Obviously, Brisbane played Newcastle in the NRLW, so I think Brisbane will play the Roosters in the grand final.
Everyone thinks Brisbane will play the Roosters.
And then New South Wales Rugby League this weekend as well. Grand finals from New South Wales Cup. Dragons versus Warriors.
Okay, so that's a really interesting... So Cody Ramsey's playing in that game.
Looking for another club now.
Lockie Ilias is playing in that game. I believe Jonah Glover is playing in that game up against the Warriors side that carried all before them, but they lost to the Dragons 2 weeks ago, Jet Cleary and Tanner Boyd.
So that's going to be a great game and probably stars of the future and people now looking for NRL contracts.
Problem with that is That's on at the same time as the NRL prelim, the grand final on Sunday.
Who's thinking of that?
Oh.
Jersey Flag, Melbourne Storm in the Jersey Flag semi-final and grand final.
Great
against
effort.
The Penrith Panthers. So the system out there at Penrith keeps working.
Amazing.
They didn't make the New South Wales Cup because they played all those players in that game, which cost them a victory in New South Wales Cup.
Is that
Otherwise, they
right?
would have made the semi-finals as well.
Wow.
Against
Okay.
down in Canberra. And then Harvey Norman Women's, Newcastle play the Sharks. So Cronulla, grand final for Harvey Norman, semi-final for NRLW for now, but chance of grand final and prelim final for NRL.
QRL, Burleigh Bears up against the North Devils too. So
Rowan Smith against Luke Burt. A couple of names for you there.
Is that right? The two coaches?
Luke Burt, Burleigh, Rowan Smith, Brisbane Norths.
Yeah, right. There we go. Yeah. So there you go. Troy and Georgie, who were most upset that we weren't going up there for that game, but next year. Hey, boys, can we analyse the slow strip? Tacklers holding the ball and squeezing it out as they go to ground. Okay, so this is the Stefano.
I think Stefano pushes it forward, not rips at the ball. There's no raking action, which is why they went to it. And he pushes the ball behind his hip, and then he finishes a tackle off knowing that the ball's going to come out of the movement as he's going to the ground.
Okay, there's no stripping movement. I agree. Do you think Stefano Utoikamanu knew exactly what he was doing there? Taking the ball away from Aden Fanua-Blake.
Create a little bit of separation and hope there could be deemed as a knock-on or a loose carry.
All right, so you agree with me.
Yeah.
Well done, Nod. Thank you for that. And final one here from Budster. Buds is a Sharks man, so this has been challenging. KL, unbelievable. Ronaldo was quiet. Nico, what's doing? Billy Burns, AFB, awesome efforts. Bring on 2026. Whoever plays the Storm, kick their Shaminda. That's from Budster. So there you go, Budster. Hey, Nod, we're just about done, mate. We finished.
We want to wish Miller Kane, Jolie Kane's daughter, best of luck in the grand final tomorrow.
So she's playing on the wing in the Sharks' Harvey Norman side
against the Newcastle Knights.
Okay.
Harvey Norman.
So what's Harvey Norman's? That's under.
It's a reserve grade to NRLW.
Okay. Because they're playing it at the same time, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Tasha Gale.
Tasha Gale's junior program. Yes. So, Sugar, good luck.
All the very best. Well done to the Melbourne Storm. You are into another grand final. That's right. Craig Bellamy's 11th. Can you believe it? Disappointment for the Cronulla Sharks. 22-14, the final scoreline. Thank you, Nod.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good evening.
Been fun. Thank you, tourists. Thank you, Kath. Saturday League is on tomorrow with Scotty Sattler and Adrian Prezenko. Make sure you're tuning into that. And well done to the Melbourne Storm.